Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope you're doing great out there. And if you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. Hit that like button. You guys know the deal. You guys have done YouTube enough, huh? I wanted to get a couple more thoughts in on this Luka Dončić thing, okay? And I'm actually, I got some, I talked last night about this. I was a little delirious. Mind you, it was 2 a.m. West Coast time. And but dude, I just got back from Vegas. I can't make heads or tails of this whole thing because now I feel like it's 11:30. It feels like it's 8:30. The entire time I was there, I felt like I was on East Coast time. I'm just old washed. I don't really understand my body right now or my clock or where things are at with this thing. But was talking last night on this whole Luka Doncic thing, right? And about, well, the Heat's pipe dream might be dead. Where does it go? Not that was a very likely pipe dream anyway, getting Luka Dončić. But I will say, I've seen a couple of things come out that actually made me go, that were interesting in regards to Luka Dončić and the Miami Heat. And I'm not here to sell hope because I don't want to do that. I don't want to, I don't want to lead anybody astray. But I found some things interesting, right, with this whole Luka to the Lakers thing. And a couple of things that really piqued my attention with this whole thing was, first, a comment from the general manager, who Dallas all hates this guy right now, of the Dallas Mavericks, excuse me. And he said, quote, on Luka Dončić, quote, "We really feel like we got ahead of what was going to be a tumultuous summer. Him being eligible for the Supermax and also a year away from him being able to opt out of any contract. And so we felt like we wanted to get out in front of that. We know teams, they've had it out there that teams have been loading up to try and sign him once he becomes available." Now, I haven't seen other teams, but I do know that at least locally that was something that, was reported by Barry Jackson, that Luka specifically, but that was what, obviously made the rounds of NBA Central and all that. And that was one of the teams that went viral, that Miami was going to get their ducks in a row to try and sign Luka. I had tweeted out that day and I had said, look, if you have any prayer of getting Luka Doncic, your ass better put Goran Dragic as the vice president of something. And I think that it's most likely Luka Doncic will end up staying with the Lakers, right? Because who's going to leave the Lakers? It's this marquee franchise. They always seem to get a generational star on their team. However, it always seems to go their way, right? The LeBron thing was like the worst kept secret ever. Everybody knew that he was going to the Lakers. This is just what they do. No, not hating, it just is what it is. I'm not trying to be petty about it, but this was also crazy. He also, Nico Harrison said that he left Luka Doncic a text and a phone message. He says, "My guess is he probably doesn't want to talk to me." And it really does feel like Luka Doncic was blindsided and hurt by this. The statement that he gave out to Dallas, if I was a Dallas Mavericks fan, I don't know if I could live with my franchise. Imagine the Miami Heat trading 26-year-old Dwayne Wade after his shoulder. Imagine Dwayne Wade gets to the Eastern Conference Finals, hurts his shoulder, and they're like, you know what? We just don't think that he's good enough. We're trading for Tracy McGrady. And you're like, what? This is Dwayne Wade we're talking about. He said, 7 years ago, I came here as a teenager to pursue my dream of playing basketball at the highest level. I thought I'd spend my career here, and I wanted so badly to bring you a championship. The love and support you've all given me is more than I could have ever dreamed of from a young kid from Slovenia coming to the U.S. for the first time. You made North Texas feel like home. In good times and bad, from injuries to the NBA Finals, your support never changed. Thank you for not only sharing my joy of our best moments, but lifting me up when I needed it most. To all the organizations I work with throughout the Dallas community, thank you for letting me contribute to your important work and join in bringing light to those who need it. As I start the next part of my basketball journey, I am leaving a city that will always feel like a home away from home. Dallas is a special place, and Mavs fans are special fans. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Luka. Dude, if I'm Nico Harrison, you better hope that this Anthony Davis, whenever he's healthy, you better hope that he comes out there and is like Wilt Mother Bleepin' Chamberlain. I'm just telling you right now, because that made me want to cry, and I hate the Dallas Mavericks fans. But it also made me wonder with this whole thing, Luka Doncic feeling blindsided in all of this. Does it actually open up the window of him being available even more? Not to say that he would definitely leave the Lakers, but obviously the idea that he was blindsided and then kind of disrespected out the door. Like, the first thing that came out was that they were fat shaming him. You fat shamed Luka, okay? You said that he wasn't trustworthy. And, you know, like, I understand Luka's had some body issues or whatever, but the guy's basically he's been all NBA eligible every year of his career up until this point. He's dealt with this calf injury, right? And this guy, Nico, seemingly did not have a good relationship with him. Everybody's seen the meme of him taking the beer away. And I was just like, man, I think they feel kind of wronged here. And I don't necessarily know if that's going to be trust that's going to be regained anytime soon. Which brings me to my Miami Heat point. If I was Luka Doncic, sure, I'm going to get to play with LeBron James. That's my boyhood idol. That's going to be pretty friggin' cool. However, it's LeBron James, even being the freak of all freaks. How many more years can he do this, right? Like, he on the great end too, right? Like, it all is said that like next year was going to be his last year, but on the great end too. Maybe Luka signs an extension, a 3-year, who knows? I'm not sure. Or maybe he sets himself up for free agency. And wouldn't it be LeBron James, who basically put the NBA world, tipped it on its axis when he made the decision? If you're Luka Doncic and you've seen the reaction to this, the stunningness of this trade, and some have said even a slap in the face, maybe that does put him in a position to where he would want to take a gander around free agency just to see. And he may end up just signing back with the Lakers. I don't know. But I don't think you would put injury as a concern. First of all, he's already made a lot of money. Second of all, Kevin Durant signed a max contract on a torn Achilles. Like, somebody will pay Luka Doncic a boatload of money. And then you have this thing with his father, which was like, oh my God, Luka's dad was like torching the Mavericks. And he was basically saying that, you know, it was unfair, that the front office was sending negative things about him. He didn't deserve this kind of treatment on the way out, which I got to be honest with you, I totally agree with. Like, this seemed like a pretty callous move. He said he said this in Slovenia, I guess, on a TV show. It looked like he was on like I don't know if he was a guest or if he's an NBA host in Slovenia. So excuse my ignorance on Luka's father saying this. But he says, with this trade, hypocrisy from the Mavs hurts me personally. I think Luka absolutely didn't deserve this. He sacrificed a lot. I know Luka really respected Dallas, Sasha Doncic. And I was like, whoa, dude, that dad is pissed. And obviously, you know, we've seen Luka's dad with the whole, the video where the beer's taken away. You know, like he's giving the hug to him and then the beer gets taken away as they go to the NBA Finals. And I don't know, man. It made me wonder. I'm like, you know, these guys had I'm sure getting traded to the Lakers like is most free agents' dreams. So they may be super happy there. Who knows? But also the Lakers have done some clown ass stuff too. And really, if Goran Dragic's foot never gets hurt, it would have been LeBron James and Anthony Davis forever ringless. So you got lucky. So if we could bring it back to Goran Dragic, let's just say LeBron's a little bit old. They don't have a center. Maybe they don't find a great solution to this. And so it's just funsies. But Luka gets to this and he goes, you know what? I didn't get to control where I wanted to go. And I want to go to free agency. Well, there was a report today from Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports, who had said the two places that he had always wanted to play that had been heard in league circles was the LA Lakers and, of course, was Miami. So the other thing, I saw somebody else had like a free agent list, and he had said that Miami's his favorite place, his favorite city to be in. Not surprising. You guys remember what Slovenia? Did you guys remember what Slovenia night was like here? But again, if the Heat are going to do this, if there is going to be a window, and these are not things that need to be known now, because obviously you got to see how things play out in LA. Maybe they win the championship this year, and this is all stupid, and I wasted 15 minutes of your time. However, if things do look a little bit rocky, and it does seem like LeBron's going to stick this out, okay? When we were talking last night, I was wondering, I was like, all right, is he? Did he know? By the way, nobody believes that LeBron didn't know. That's the funny thing. I actually, foolishly of me, I actually believe LeBron James. I was like, I think I believe LeBron James didn't know. Nobody believes LeBron James didn't know. But we were all so stunned that I was like, nobody knew. But nobody believes that LeBron didn't know. But when I see that, okay, they actually seem like they had a little bit of, believe it or not, I know the Heat fans down in the front office, but it seems like the Mavs front office had a little bit of fear on the idea that Luka could get a wandering eye elsewhere. So you get Anthony Davis, you get your win now guy, and that's your window for right now. Cool. But then, all right, let's say that it was in league circles that he did want to go to Miami, or he is interested in Miami. I got to feel like the Doncic family right now has a lot of mistrust in the NBA, which to me would lead it even more important to bring somebody like Goran into the fold in the Heat organization. Goran and Sasha Doncic, close relationship. I believe Goran, that was a mentor to Goran. Knew Luka as a kid. Very, very tight relationship there with Dragic and Doncic. So if anybody was, as Dwayne Wade famously tweeted out, relationships are important, people. And maybe Luka will be happy in LA. Maybe he will. But is it crazy to think a guy like that at his age, seeing what had just happened to him, feeling a little bit betrayed? Sure, he's going to have some awesome moments, and we're going to have some Goosey's highlights with him and LeBron together. I don't know if it's necessarily going to win, but I'm sure it's going to be kind of cool. But that was your idol, or one of your boyhood idols, who also took a pretty famous career step in his own hands. Luka's going to be all right. And now that the max contract is out of the fold right now, yeah, everybody else is doing the extend and extend and extend. This guy in particular, being at the age that he's going to be at, 27 at the time, maybe he veers off and he does take the career into his own hands after not having any say in going to the Lakers. Maybe he loves it. Maybe he'll stay there even in free agency. But it did make me wonder, reading all these quotes about why Dallas was so proactive in getting rid of him, seeing how his father reacted, reading the statement from Luka. Sounds like a guy who might want to take his career in his own hands. And if you're the Miami Heat and you do actually want to get off the canvas of getting skunked on every big orca that's out there, you might want to get somebody. This happened with with Jalen Brunson, right? With everyone, you might want to set yourself up for a position to actually land the guy if he becomes available. You'll know this summer because he may sign an extension and you're like, all right, what are we doing here? But if he doesn't, that to me would perk things up of interest. So that was before the whole Jimmy thing got reported tonight. I was like, these final dominoes with this Luka thing falling together. I was like, a lot of interesting stuff that came out there that made me go,